This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, this is Brian Sebastian, movie reviews and more. And if it's Tuesday, that means we are live as usual. So streaming on Talk4 TV, Talk4 Media, K4HD Radio, streaming on over 100 outlets around the world. Worldwide TV Network, formerly the Women's Broadcast TV Network, WomenOnTV.tv, and iTube 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee. So I look forward to this show because I didn't know this young lady. I only met Chloe at an art exhibit with Bernie Talbot, which was great. She stood there stylish, and I'm like, who's this pretty girl? There's something about her. She was just like, I should have put the picture up for Rebel. She was just standing there. I'm like, who she was? She was fascinating to me. Didn't know she was a singer. Didn't know she was a songwriter. And I was glad that Mike's here too, because anytime I can talk to Mike, we can talk about movies. And so, or else I find myself talking to Rachel about movies, or Howard occasionally. I haven't had a chance to call Howard because I'm still in, where am I? I'm in Nelson, Illinois still. So I'm losing track of where I am. So the good thing about this, I did not know she was, she did TED Talks. I didn't know she was a speaker. I didn't know she has a book. I knew she looked good in hats. I definitely didn't know she was British because I would have been putting on a phony British accent. Who knew? But I did know this. She loves to be at panels, at film festivals. She's that director. She's a philanthropist. And I love the fact that, and guess what? Her daughter is coming on next week. She doesn't even look like a mom to me, just like Rachel doesn't look like a mom. So that's fascinating. And she's a fellow filmmaker, and I'm sure she's a film lover like me and Mike are. So, Elisabeth Blake Thomas, welcome to Movie Reviews and More. And I can't wait to talk about your other films and things that you have, because you got two of the people here. You've got an actor, the dapper Howard Wiggins, because he can do everything. He looks like everything, just in case you need someone. And when we have our shorts, he dances up a storm and it gives us thousands and thousands of views. And he is that good, and people like him. I don't know why they're still chiming on. I can't figure it out, but he's doing something, and he doesn't even know. He's doing something on our YouTube channel, and his dance videos keep coming up, and I don't know how. All of I see is like once a day I get a review like, "Go, old man, go." I'm like, Howard's not old. He is like a young guy. So it's really interesting with that. But I can't wait to talk about films, and I'm glad that Michael's here. And then so with Chloe, I'm glad. I can't wait to hear her song, because I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. But I've seen her art, and I'm fascinated by that. And you know what, Chloe? Howard is an art collector. So he's bought art ever since he was a kid. I think he's gotten rid of one piece, and that's it. Or else he's going to talk about what he's done. And with Michael, so Michael's written for USA Today. I think he wrote for that for 5 years. He's taught for over 25 years at the UCLA Film School, journalism. I appeared there 3 times as a speaker, and it was fun doing that. We've known each other since the early 90s, actually late 80s, early 90s. We go way, way back. This is a guy that I think has done everything and doesn't even talk about his past. We could go back to Atlanta, Georgia, when he lived there, and when he was writing about the Atlanta murders way, way back, which is what brought him to California.
Yeah, the murders, yeah.
But the one thing about that is he is that author. He loves his dogs, and he's rotten. I hate this word. He's rotten certified tomato. I hate RT. I hate those people. I look at it this way. Why do we need to have a tomato to be rotten certified when we got us old journalists with a few of us left, right, Michael? Not a lot, but there's a few of us left. So, Elisabeth, anytime you need a review or something like that, it's got to be a good film, because I have seen your films. don't forget, there's Michael here and there's myself, and there's a couple others who've been around since way, way back. So everybody, welcome to Movie Reviews and More. So Howard, you know what, Howard, introduce yourself. Your sound is good today. I like your background.
Okay.
I like the hat you're wearing. Go ahead, go for it.
Okay, I'm Howard Wiggins Interior Design. I've got a style called Stacked and Layered. I want you to go on my Facebook and watch it. I did a TV passion movie thing that's on my Facebook where I play a billionaire, and one of my employees tries me to get him to marry his daughter to get him out of debt. I want you to go see that. And then I got a little part in a movie called Without Warning. That's coming up soon. And that'll be shown at the theaters here in Nashville. And let's see. Of course, I've been with Brian for over about 2 years. And my father was Little Roy Wiggins, plays steel guitar with Eddie Arnold and Lori Morgan and Ernie Ashworth and a whole bunch of other people. So that's pretty much it.
And he loves to dance. He loves to dance, and he loves art. So, Chloe, I'm going to go to you before I go to Mark.
Okay.
Exactly. Chloe, let's talk about you singing. You that singer, that songwriter. I didn't know you were an artist. I liked your art, and I'm like, I wonder if Howard would like this, because we have a bunch of, in our audience, we have a lot of people around the world that are collectors, and they like to buy art, and they're just in that art world. And then we have the Dreamweaver Artist Ranch and dreamweaverarts.org. So that's fascinating for me. And Michael is our head contributor for that, for writing for that too. Talk about what you've done, and talk about going to Mont Haven there in Tennessee where we met.
Oh my gosh. So I've been making art and music ever since I was a little girl. I took piano lessons, and all through high school I was in choir, and I couldn't choose one. Everybody told me, you have to do art or you have to do music. I could not choose one. And it was through a beautiful experience at MTSU where I went to governor's school for art. And that's a 3-week-long program where you get college credit as a high schooler. And that program helped me realize that music and art are just interconnected in my brain, because I'm able to experience something called synesthesia, which is just a blending of the senses. And so when I hear music, I just feel it so much that I can actually visualize it. And so that's what I've started to base my art around. And really, music inspires art, art inspires the music, and it just never stops for me. And I heard Bernie was coming to Mont Haven. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go to that. I love Elton John. I love the music. And then when I came, you came up to me and you asked who I'm wearing. And I said, this dress is from a yard sale. But yeah, I really loved that art show. I really appreciated his pieces and the messages behind them. So yeah, that's the story.
Yeah, that's what it was. She was wearing, Rachel, she was wearing a beautiful dress. I love it when I find a woman's got a beautiful dress and they're just so happy. I'm like, where'd you get that? She goes, I got it at the thrift store. It was only $5. And they go like this. And I'm like, good for you. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's like, it's beautiful. So Rachel, you popped in and out. So we got to introduce who you are, talk about who you are, what's going on, talk about your cups and your website, and then we're going to Elisabeth next.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I've been with Brian for several years, and I absolutely adore him. Everybody loves Brian. He's got a very good heart, and thank you, Brian, for having me on. So talking about who I am, I'm a little chef here in Houston, Texas, but I also do a lot more. I have a little show in the morning called Coffee Talk, and I do other fun things as well. I've been offered this week, all these crazy things are happening. I was offered a part in a TV show. It's a comedy cooking show. I'm excited about that. And then, yesterday I was offered a part in a movie that's being shot in Austin. So it's like life is weird and wild and everything, but I think things really did start when I connected with Brian, and I could say, Howard, you can agree with me here that since we've connected with Brian and Movie Reviews and More, things really do start to happen. Thank you, Brian.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Elisabeth, let's talk about filmmaking without fear, storytelling without fear, and living in intervention. Because I love that when I saw
living with intention.
Intention. See, I love how she did that with the British accent.
it's almost intervention in the other way because you have to change your life. Well, it's lovely to be here, and thank you for having me. And as I was listening to, how you introduce people, I was like, oh, that's interesting. What do people pick up first? What do they say first? And I've kind of got things that cover the mind, body, and soul. And so I was like, oh, I wonder which one we're going to go with. So you went straight for the books, but they are also podcasts, and they are created because as a director, I realized I needed time out. So I created this methodology that actually helps other people take time out because, life is a lot, according to the words of my daughter. And I do tend to agree. But I have the kind of the film side of me. I have the writing side, which, covers both the creativity coaching, the keynote speaking. And then I'm also currently a very film-driven family because my dog was just in a movie that's just been released. So she's with Mickey Rourke in that movie. My Maltese is sitting right here now. My daughter, singer, songwriter, actress, producer. We have our production company together. And my boyfriend is also a director. He has got Reagan coming out in
Wait a minute. Sean is your boyfriend?
Yeah.
We love Sean.
Yeah.
We love him.
I do too.
The good thing is that you get to stay in the same bed with him. I can only invite him on the show unless I go to Reagan.
Well, maybe we need to do a different type of show where you could be in the middle, either one of us each side, and that could be a nighttime show.
Oh, I've already done that show. Mike knows that.
And I love hats, as you said. I have 7 of these in all different colors. I'm zero waste. I'm vegan. I'm a minimalist. So I used to live on a boat. I sold everything. My TED talk explains that, as you said. And it's just lovely to be here and to kind of be able to chat about anything from whatever to whatever.
All right, Mike, let's talk about you. What have you been doing lately besides your dogs and everything like that? And as Tosh comes on, Tosh, we're coming to you next, so you better be ready. All right, Mike, just talk about some films, whatever you've been seeing and everything else you've been doing.
Well, yeah, I don't have like a role like Howard does, but I am in a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme where I'm an extra, and I was sitting next to him for a period of 8 hours. It's called Darkness of Man. It's already on streaming, and you can see me sitting next to him in the very beginning of the movie for a couple of seconds. So that's been kind of fun. I do have my Dachshund books. I've written a couple of books, The Dozen Delightful Dachshund Tales, the long and short list of Dachshund fun facts, best cities, names, movies, and more about wiener dogs. And soon to come out a book about my rather becoming famous tombstone at Hollywood Forever of a couch with 8 bronze dachshunds on it, and how that came about. So I have my Medium column that I think I have the post for that you'll see later. And I have some really interesting stories there, most recently about an odd experience at Area 51 that apparently other people have had 2 similar experiences. And family stories, essentially stories about my family. And I've been seeing some fascinating movies. I'm really into these really obscure documentaries, and I have reviews of them in my Medium site. And one of them that just has not, it's shaken me. It's called The Mandela Effect Phenomenon.
Oh,
and
excellent film.
If anyone knows about that, it just blows your mind. I mean, it's things that we as a group have remembered incorrectly, like Jiffy peanut butter does not exist. It's always been Jif peanut butter. Depends, it's always depend. Mirror on the wall is not mirror on the wall. It's magic mirror on the wall, and it's always been that way. I mean, it's just very strange, and it goes into this kind of super psychic reason of collective consciousness, but it blew me away. It's very strange.
That's awesome.
And then Tosh, your hair is looking beautiful. She's been all over the place. I haven't been on social media like 3 weeks. I've been busy working on my friend's farm and doing stuff. But occasionally I see something pop up. I'm like, what is she doing now? I just know she's been busy, just kicking butt doing stuff. All right, Tosh, tell us, what have you been doing?
Well, first of all, happy birthday, Rachel.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to say that happy birthday.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
so it's been a while that I've been, well, the last time I came on here, I was talking about like digital marketing and that stuff. So the past 2 weeks, I actually partnered up with a beauty company because I started learning about affiliate marketing, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm already telling people like what I'm wearing on my skin, what I'm doing on my hair, and I'm doing it for free and not getting commission for it. So there's this Turkish company that's, you probably have seen it all over Instagram. It's called Pharmacy, and they're like really blowing up in the US right now. And I decided to join in. Like, you get 50% commission, which is actually really nice. And you get 50% off your products, like whatever products that you buy. So I've been using it on my hair, on my skin, kind of testing it out and seeing how I like it, and the products are fantastic. So I've been busy like creating content and social selling and putting all my digital marketing skills into effect. So I've been doing that. But we got some good stuff happening on Friday. I'm dropping a remix to one of my songs. So we got some music of Tosh Baby. We are kind of reviving a song that I launched 2 years ago. It's called Dime una cosa. So for everyone that doesn't know me, I sing Spanish music. I'm a Latin pop, un poquito de reggaeton, urban music. And I've been doing it for the past 4 years, kind of just been throwing out symbols and seeing what I like, what my audience likes, what I kind of identify with. And because of everything that I learned with digital marketing, I've been like creating content so well that this artist from Colombia found my profile, looked up my song, and he hit me up in the DM, and he's like, hey, I want to create a remix to one of your songs. And I was like, sure, like I'm always willing on helping other people in the same field as I am, because that's what I would want somebody to do for me if you're starting up. So he dropped his verse on it. I went to the studio, I mixed it, and it came out really good. So I'm putting it out on Friday to at least give the audience a little bit of newish reviving music as I get prepared for all my new projects. But I've been just really busy music, content creating, learning how to make multiple streams of income, because goddamn, it's expensive to freaking live in the US right now. So trying to do it all.
That's funny. In California, it's the most expensive place to live now. Who would have thought that, Mike? Huh?
Yeah, it always has been.
Yeah.
But I don't want to live. I don't want to live in Alabama. So.
No, you got a great place. I mean, you're right across the street from the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, you're plus magical celebrities have been at your house. So your house should be a historical house.
It is. It is.
Actually, yeah, it is. His house is fascinating. Hey, Elisabeth, talk about this. Talk about being on panels of film festivals. We always like Toronto Film Festival is one of my favorite film festivals. So isn't AFI, and so isn't Santa Barbara. Talk about you being on panels and how things have changed.
So film festivals are very interesting because at the moment I'm involved personally in 4. So I just did a panel yesterday at Holly Shorts with my daughter for Mother-Daughter Entertainment. And we were, somebody afterwards said that was mind-blowing. So I think we did a good job. Then I'm on the board of Da Vinci International Film Festival. And so we run panels there. Then my daughter is assistant film director of Lady Filmmakers. So we're always on panels there. We're going to be doing something at Burbank Film Festival. So for me, it's about sharing my knowledge. I feel like there's such a mixture of film festivals and obviously such a different varying element of what you get from those film festivals. Like AFM that was here is a film festival, but it's also a market. Cannes is a party town when the film festival is there, plus you get the market, plus you get panels and you meet lots of good people. So I do think film festivals are fun. I sometimes am concerned with the quality of what gets chosen and why. Like I develop scripts for people and they've come to me and said, this has been award winning, and I've read it and I've gone, I wonder why. I wonder how that got award winning. So I kind of love sharing knowledge when I'm at these places. I think it's a great place to socialize and meet. And I'm having a great time at Holly Shorts, and not because it's my film's not there, my daughter's directorial debut, so she'll speak to you about that next week. But we're there still being part of panels and supporting filmmakers. It's a very healthy place to support people, I think, because they're so creatively driven there.
Let me ask you this before I go to Mike. What do you look for when it comes to when you have that casting director? Because I love the shots. I ran out of time. I love the behind the scenes shots of you directing. I'm like, wow, she's always got a fashionable hat. Even if she's acting in it, she just looks good. And I had no idea you were a mom. I'm like, she doesn't look like a mom. She looks too happy. But I wanted to find out what are you looking for when it comes to casting people? And the reason why I always say that, I speak for a lot of my actor friends who won't get the chance or may not get the chance to go on a podcast and say, here I am, I'm available. Because I like to relay the messages to them.
I think it's a great question, because I can give you the answers based on things that I think would surprise people. So if I'm working in my 250 to 1.5 million range, generally I love people that are nice. Anybody that is really lovely to work with and that gets what it's about and isn't going to ask for the blue M&Ms, because when you're in that kind of zone, I just need people that are committed and understanding of how I'm working. Then there are also the situations where I do need a name, and that name will help to sell. So there was a movie, Hunt Club, and Mickey Rourke and Mina Savari, their names sold the movie. But then you can put other people around them. And then when I'm working on my $10 million one, I have a couple of big names, but again, surrounding them with people that I love. And so I say, if people want to be known, someone gave me a very good advice, which was when I first moved here. I was sitting away writing and working in my house, and they said, well, it's all well and good you doing that, but you know who Steven Spielberg is, but Steven Spielberg doesn't know who you are. And that's the same for me as a director. I want people to follow me, to hit me up, to send me things, but they need to continually do that, because I'm bombarded so much and films change and things happen. And honestly, it can literally be a matter of good luck time. So let's say I was filming tomorrow and you said, oh, I've got this great actor. I might go, oh, I've got a role that I need to fill. Yeah, send him in. It was time, it was luck, it was, all of the above. So you must just never stop in case that is your moment.
And then one other thing real quick on the music side of things, when it comes to that score, because last week we ran a trailer for Reagan and we ran the trailer for his other film, Sean's other film coming out in November with Emilio Hirsch in it. Yeah, about the artists at war. I'm saying this. I think Reagan is going to be nominated. I picked it 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I might not even get to the premiere for that because I think I'm going to give it to Terri to go see. But it looks fabulous, and or unless I can give it to Mike. But it's one of these things. That's my pick. Dennis Quaid. He looks to be perfect for that. Penelope Ann Miller with that for Nancy Reagan. He looks spectacular. And I don't even know what John Voight's doing. I haven't seen my friend John in a long time. He's fascinating in anything. Talk about this. When it comes to the music side of things for young artists, I always tell them, look at the end credits. Do not be afraid to send it to that person, that casting director.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and again, especially depending on your budget. I mean, even Sean on his bigger films, if someone has sent us a song and it fits, then we're immediately going to use it. It doesn't matter. And of course, Sean tends to go for the bigger songs and they're costing 200, 300, 400,000, but it's still only the odd 1 or 2. And we then fill it with other things. And I have a composer I work with, just like Sean has his composer. And my composer, Eric, is amazing. And he's done all of my movies so far. But from a song perspective, it's very useful, Chloe, I will say. I use my daughter, and she writes amazing songs and amazing music. So Just Swipe, one of my movies, she has the beginning and the end song, or both credit ends. Karma, the one we just did, again, she's got the song at the beginning. My Friend has her song at the end of those. So I love it's the same. You have to be in it to win it. And I use phrases all the time, but they are so true. If someone sends me their music, but if someone was to send me their music and say, this will cost you 100,000, I probably won't use it. So I need people to understand. And then after the first film, maybe on the second film, I can pay them a bit more, or on the third film, pay them more. But the Shadrach, the show that's on PureFlix that Sean produced and directed, and I've directed as well, we used a couple of my daughter's songs in that. And it's lovely. Again, it's a family affair in my episode. And I love using people's music artistically. And if they have that passion, why not?
Hear that, Chloe? Hear that, Tosh? Because and the reason why I say that, because every time Tosh comes on, just like she gets a job or something that, when Rachel is here, something happens. It's like something goes in the mix, and that makes me happy. And Howard, I haven't forgotten about your mask. I just haven't had a chance to talk to Barry. But again, so Tosh, let's talk about your mask real quick, because Howard texted me, and I just haven't had a chance to talk to Barry. You've still been using your mask?
Oh, I use it. Like, I actually... Where is it? Oh, my mom used it, so she's actually using it right now. But I use it religiously 3 times a week, and I have really shitty lighting here, but my skin has been looking so beautiful. So, like, I wish I could. That's shitty camera, but you go to my Instagram and you'll see how my skin has been like developing as I've been doing the red light therapy. It really has been illuminating my skin. It's a little bit like more glowy. I feel like I get less. I used to get a lot of like little like pimples around here. Now they're gone, and my skin has been feeling really good. So I am so grateful that I went and I was able to try the Energy Lounger, and the fact that Barry gifted me the mask for red.
How much was the mask? How much was that mask?
The mask is $500. So
and so she didn't pay $500, because when you're coming out movie reviews and more, you're not paying for it.
No,
I know.
I created such a cool reel for him. He really loved it, and I was like, of course, like if you give me a mask, I'll definitely do a reel for you, and I'll do that like real experience. And my mom is loving it. I'm loving it. Like I'm looking like I'm 29, so. The fact that I still get ID'd at a bar is telling me that this red light therapy is working wonders.
Very cool.
Hey, Mike, let's talk about film festivals. I mean, back in the day when we were covering a lot of things have changed. So I got an AFI credentials. I sent it back as soon as it came to me. I think it came 3 minutes. I sent it back right away. Talk about how film festivals have changed on your end, because we're not getting everything. And a lot of people don't know that. Because, yes, I can get invited to Burbank and all these things, but a lot of times it's not the same dates anymore year after year. Howard will know, when I go to the Nashville Film Festival, it's September 19th to the 25th. And I'm like, God, I've got a couple things going on. And the thing is, nobody's communicating with anybody anymore. And that's a problem, because I've been talking about great independent films the last couple of years that nobody has seen. And again, we always talk about the Gloria Gaynor doc that we found in Nashville. Me and Howard last year, called I Will Survive. Nobody knew about this last year when I went back to Los Angeles to tell them. They had no idea, Elisabeth, about that, and that bothered me. Here it is. Gloria Gaynor came out to Nashville for that. 40 years later, she wins, for a Grammy Award for gospel. 40 years later, no one believed in her, so she went to Nashville to do it there. So she had her debut there. It's one of the best docs I've seen. And so that's one reason why I keep going back there, because there's a lot of great people there. There's a lot of great talent, like Chloe. We're going to show a little bit of her art in a couple minutes. But, again, Mike, talk about the film festivals in the old days, how things have changed, because it's not what it used to be.
Well, I mean, one thing that Rachel was talking about is that film festivals are important, but there is a question as to why some of these film festivals honor certain movies and not others. And but it seems like every film that comes out has a slew of awards in obscure film festivals somewhere. And there's so many of them now. There's hundreds of them just in LA, but there's a vampire film festival. There's, it's like every different kind of genre. There's a film festival about environmental pictures. And
there's one for cats now too.
Oh,
I got invited to that.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually curious about it, but I'm like, can I watch? How many cat films can I see?
There's a market for them, but so it's important to schmooze and get to know each other and know other people in the industry. unfortunately, there isn't enough, I think, ways of getting your stuff out there, and film festivals do that. Now, when you and I were covering film festivals quite a bit, and when we were covering the Oscars a lot, we had a lot more access to the celebrities. It was really easy to just go to parties and hang out with people and get to know people and do interviews that way. Those have become a lot more distanced, and it's partly because of COVID. It's partly because of just people are afraid of general public. So, that's unfortunate. But, I remember meeting this young filmmaker who nobody could get an interview with. And I was finally begged to go to his set of a movie called Reservoir Dogs. And there was, this young guy named Q that people called him, and he gave me a script of Reservoir Dogs, and they sat there for the Michael Madsen ear cutting scene, and he became Quentin Tarantino. So
yes, he also gave you his phone number, and then you lost it.
No,
He said,
what happened was it was really funny because I used to have his home phone number, and when he got nominated, I think for Pulp Fiction at the Oscars, and he was on the red carpet, and they said, "Hey, Quentin, I don't have your new phone number," and he said, "Yeah, you won't get it."
So, Elisabeth, when it comes to the reason why I come to film festivals now is not only to help promote a lot of the artists, but it's to talk about really my co-hosts. I don't think they know about this. I actually want them, because they're talented and I like what they do, I actually want them to be in different things, because it's hard to be discovered, I think, these days. Everybody's got a podcast, but that doesn't mean that you have sponsors. That doesn't mean you have viewers. Everybody's got an outlet that they go out there. They have social media, but that doesn't mean that they're working it correctly. And Nathasha will tell you that, because she's found out these things. And so haven't some of our other friends. And everybody's got, everybody's talented in my book. But the same thing is, like you said before, not everybody knows how to reach these people. And it's easier, but at the same time, you have a plethora of people just throwing themselves at you. And the reason I don't read scripts, and I refuse to, going back to 1993, because every script is good until you read it.
That's definitely true. Definitely true for most film festivals. I mean, we're looking at all scripts, shorts, features at the moment. We're on the jury for a couple of festivals, my daughter and I, and it's always very intriguing. But I think it's an industry where, you can reach a certain level. It's easy to get to certain people, easier than others. But I think it has to come down to why you wanting to do it, because then it's not about the satisfaction from what other people think about you. So when we create a film, yes, it's obviously nice to have an audience. I use my TED Talk as an example, actually. I made that TED Talk so that it would hopefully affect people. But I wasn't expecting, and I don't need it to be millions and millions, but if it is, that's great. I was happy if one person came to me and said, "Wow, you changed my life." And actually, I've had quite a few. So I'm like, that was good. And my films are the same. I look at it and go, why am I making this? Why am I doing this? And I think if we're artists and we're creative people, just like my books, it's like, I hope it changes one person's life. And now, of course, there's the financial side of things, and I'm not referring to that. We all need to pay our bills and we all need to live. But from a creative standpoint, I think it's okay to go, why am I doing this and what do I want from it? And not be waiting for other people to give you the chance. Now, we are in a world, as you said, where everybody has a podcast, everybody has a book, everybody has this, everybody has a radio show, whatever it is, you can do it now, which in one way is good, but in another way has diluted everything. But again, why are you doing it? What's the reason you're doing it? Does it give you satisfaction? And as long as you're satisfying your creative purpose, your creative need and want, I think we have to enjoy that. So let's say we're sitting here now, there are 7 of us, and let's add my daughter in, 8, and let's put Sean in, so there's 9 of us. And I said to you, okay guys, we could put a movie together, we can do something, what have we got? The fact that we could do that is unique, and it could be something good. We've got skill, we've got talent. Now, it might not go out there to millions, but it also might go viral. But if we did it because we wanted to make something, then that's going to satisfy our creative need.
I want to add to that. I just want to say something that's really interesting because I'm now that I'm in semi-retirement, I've been involved with like the Hollywood Senior Center, right? And I'm doing plays, and we're doing a really controversial play called Mud from a Cuban playwright, where I play a guy who faux masturbates into the audience and then play a woman the next scene, and it's really interesting and not something that you would see at a normal senior center. And what my point is that there are so many, it's not just Hollywood, but so many community theaters and high school plays and small independent films that we pass by. And there's people who are, busting their butts to rehearse and practice and do their best. And it's all around us. It doesn't have to be the latest Deadpool movie. There's so many other interesting things out there. And when you wander in off the street and you go into a high school auditorium and you see this incredible version of Godspell or whatever, it's just, it's really heartening to know that goes on in our world, and we should take advantage of it.
And support it. We should absolutely support it. Last year, between August and December, I booked something to go and do or be part of or see, mostly theatre, choirs, whatever it was, every week. And that was just in LA. I didn't even go very far. It was full for the entire 4 months. And I experienced things that I didn't even know existed, and was part of slightly bigger things like the Disney Hall, but it was fabulous. And it's about supporting them. Like today, I went to watch the shorts at Holly Shorts. I didn't know, it wasn't part of us, but I was like, no, these people have put the effort and time in to make these. I want to support them.
So Chloe, I want to show a couple of your photos of your art that you created that I found fascinating. I'm curious to see what Howard thinks of them. All right, Rebel, let's take a look.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a photograph?
That's a drawing.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Wow.
Astounding.
That's how you know. Wow.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
It looks so vivid. Chloe, you're so talented.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Chloe, describe that one real quick. What is this one?
So earlier I was talking about synesthesia.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. So these different patterns you see, I was listening to my own music in governor's school. I was just thinking, what is in my head when I hear this? And I put it on some paper, and there was a lot of rough drafts that went into it, but I ultimately decided with a mixed media here, and I used oil pastels and just a normal graphite pencil for the heart. So mixed media. And I don't know if you can see, but at the top, these line kind of things, that is actually just masking tape that I used during the process and decided to put it on the final piece.
Wow.
So this is just, I call it Songs of the Heart. This is just all the songs that were coming to me in my time at MTSU during governor's school. So that's Songs of the Heart.
That's impressive. I like it.
Thank you.
Oh, that last one. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Magical.
That reminds me of something straight out of like Lord of the Rings and everything like that. Remember those days?
I don't know why I thought of Oregon, and I've never been to Oregon, but the things I've seen on Instagram, this kind of gave me that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Talk about this one.
This is, the landscape?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, in school, I had never done a landscape. This was my first one ever. And I learned so much. I had the most wonderful teacher. She actually teaches at Mont Haven. Her name is Sandy Kandros, and she has taught me so much. But this painting was inspired by Monet and his impressionist technique. And I decided to give my shot at my first landscape ever with impressionism. So
that's gorgeous. That's beautiful.
Acrylic paint. I used acrylic paint.
Wow.
Can I say something there?
Yeah.
Okay. See, with this, I see it's a beautiful painting, but I see a secret horror movie inside.
Oh yeah.
I can see
Yep,
walking
I see
through
it.
the beauty, and you come across the shadow
a,
house
it's like
in
a
the distance.
it's like a cabin in the woods.
I
Even
love
better
that
because you
concept.
never know what's coming out of there.
The mind of
I
rebel,
already,
you never know.
I already have it half planned out. It could be a short, it could be a full-length movie.
See, she's writing already. I
Rebel's
knew it.
always doing movies. I love it. I love it.
Exactly. Exactly. This reminds me of New York. I don't know why. It reminds me of New York. What's this about?
This was just actually all my hands, and I was trying to learn to draw from real life more than I drew from a photo, which I think all artists are guilty of not wanting to draw from real life as much as they draw from a photo. But I just used my hand as a prop, and I spent so long on this piece. Oh my gosh. And I remember that I got an A on it. I was a sophomore in high school when I drew this. So I still do this. I still use my hand as a prop to sketch from real life. But oh my gosh, it took so long. I just used a normal mechanical graphite pencil. So
Well, was it your drawing hand that you were drawing? Because that would be really hard.
I'm not ambidextrous. I drew my left hand with my right hand.
That would be clever. That would be.
I might try that. I don't think the difference would be as good though.
Oh, you gotta talk about the food one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one looks like it's a picture, and I could like grab it and eat it
Exactly.
right now.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. My mom puts this piece on display in my house, and when people come by, they actually do pick it up all the time and see if they can eat it. But this was my first, well, no, probably one of my very first ceramic pieces. And I was having a really hard art block, just terrible. You know, people get that. So I was just having such a bad art block my senior year. And my teacher was like, you know what? Just make whatever you want. And I was like, these little cakes are going to make me so happy. So I gave each of them a theme. As you can see, one of them is kind of like a lotus. One of them is like blueberries, lemons. And so there's 12 pieces of the set. Took me a long time to complete. 12 pieces of the set. Well, no, there's 13. I'm sorry. There's 13, and I call it Baker's Dozen. And I entered this in the National K through 12 Ceramic Exhibition. And so shortly after I made the piece my senior year, I got to go to Cincinnati and participate in the competition there. So yeah.
Wow, good for you. Well, we lost Rachel. She had a storm coming to Houston. Typical Houston weather.
Another one. I thought it was all over.
No, Houston is sunny in 15 minutes. Another 15 minutes, they have hail, and then they have flooding. That's Houston, Texas weather.
Well, we've
always-
had 2 earthquakes here, haven't we? I mean, we've just had 2 earthquakes within a matter of what, a week?
Yeah, that was a scary one yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't feel it.
Yeah, that's because you're used to it. That's when you know you're a native of Los Angeles, when you're used to it at that point. Hey, we got a couple minutes left. Hey, Mike, talk about what you're doing, what you got coming up, and how people can reach out to you.
Well, I do write for dreamweaverarts.org, right? Is it that our friends mutual website? And so all of my reviews go there, as well as my Medium site. And so that's where you can find my stuff mostly. My Medium site is Mike SZY the writer, and that's where some of my stranger stories are.
Hey, and also talk about. Could you talk about your gathering for Emmy night?
Well, it's not for the Emmys. It's for my 64th birthday, which is when I'm 64. I was turning 60 in the middle of the pandemic. I had a really cool 60s party planned, but of course it all got scuttled. And also I lost a relationship of 24 years when I was kicked out of the house by being replaced by a 24-year-old wannabe Brazilian pop star. Anyway, that's a long story. But so now I'm reviving. I'm going to do my 64th birthday when I'm 64, and it'll have 100 of my best friends, including you, Brian. So yeah. And
I look forward to seeing Bruce Valance and a couple other people again. If anybody who doesn't know who Bruce is, Mike has the most interesting people at his place. So
can I invite myself and Sean?
Well, you're
Yeah.
local, so we'll talk.
Yeah, you can bring Sean
Going to be at the Hollywood
and
Forever.
your daughter. No,
Yeah.
so Bruce Valance, if you've ever watched the Oscars, he's always written for the Oscars. Whoopi Goldberg, Billy Crystal, you name it. Robin Williams when Robin was alive, everything. I met RuPaul. You know who RuPaul is today? At Mike's house in 1996, I think it was.
For my 40th birthday party.
Yeah, and so look where RuPaul is now. So that's why I like to go to Mike's house. I never know who I'm going to see.
She's not coming this time, so it is Emmy night, and she'll be walking around with a armful of Emmys. So I don't know.
Exactly. The most Emmy wins right now. Who would have known? Yeah. Tosh, talk about what you got coming up and what obviously for Friday and everything else. And that hat you're wearing.
Yeah, so this is a part of my merch. I'm actually wearing some of my merch. This is my Sugar Daddy hat, which is because my latest single that I released is called Sugar Daddy. It's a dembo, very fun it's a song that represents Miami very well. So I wrote about it, and I have this bucket hats, which I do have for sale in my store. I do have like 6 left, so if anybody wants, let me know. And then I'm also wearing my Tosh Baby crop top. I'm always wearing my hair in a bun and with glasses. So I was like, ooh, this looks like me. So I got some of that merch. Got my remix coming out on Friday. And what else have I been working on? Well, my, content creating and, promoting these European Turkish products. If anyone wants to know more information, you can follow me at Vocally Tosh. And teaching people how to grow their social media. The craziest thing, I started this like 2 months ago, and I used to get I used to reach about like 4,000 profiles like every 30 days. And now I'm at 30,000 profiles. So it's been really great learning how to like strategize your content, how to hook your audience, how to build trust with your audience. And I learned all that. So I'm trying to help more people, optimize their profiles and monetize it as well in any aspect of whatever, they do. So that's what I've been doing. I want to give more back into the universe, so the universe blesses me.
That's how it works. Howard Wiggins, tell them what you're wearing and what room you're in.
I'm in the living room, but I kind of want to talk about my Passion TV episode where I played the billionaire. And
oh my God, I saw it, Howard, and you were like, I was like hating you. Like, you were so good. I was like,
I was a nasty boy.
You were so good. You were so good.
Because it's so out of character for me, but that's what acting's about, and I really liked it. So I want to do more of those. They were short film. I mean, it took all day, but they were short, and I liked it. And I dress differently, I act differently. I like to go into a different role. And then I've got one.
You killed that role.
Well, thank you. I think it was well written though, because I mean, each line kind of led you into another line. I mean, without being a long story, just kind of like a little mini soap opera type thing. So I really did enjoy that. And I got another one, Without Warning, coming up, where I played the policeman. I really did have a major part in that movie, but I kind of chickened out of it because I was trying to make myself look younger because I had a lot younger wife. And I told the producer, I said, I would like her to be my second wife. He said, I want you to be the first wife. I got a teenage daughter. Well, hell, I'm 71. How do I have a teenage daughter with a first wife? So I just didn't feel right about that. So, and I kind of backed out, but he still wanted me in the movie. So I played a policeman. But the funny thing is, we were filming at the end of a dead end street. And I take this gun and go up to the car and I pull the guy out and I arrest him. Well, this car down the road stops and says, can I help you? And I'm like, who asked a policeman that they can help them? Because I had the uniform on and everything, but at least, I mean, it got attention. So,
and the room that you're in real quick.
It's my living room. I've got one more thing to do to it, which I probably do this week. Where way in the distance, there's a frame. I want to put around another frame, and I'm finally finished with this room, unless I decide to paint or something. But it's pretty much done. It took a lifetime, but I finally got it done.
Chloe?
Yes.
What do you got coming up? How people can reach you?
On Instagram It is Chloe_Wilson40. And in the next few weeks, I'm hopefully making more art. And I plan to release another single in the next few weeks, as well as release a music video with it. And I'm going back to school. So
Good.
there's a lot.
And I hope to see you when I come back to Nashville sometime in September for a film festival. I might even invite you because
Yeah.
Howard always comes with me, so gotta have Howard so you guys will meet officially.
Yeah, that would be great.
Elizabeth, you get the last word.
Wow,
Good-
that's
good-
very
good.
wonderfully British.
Good piece of advice. The hat you're wearing, and talk about your film, and then your daughter.
Okay, so this is from Lack of Color AUS, and they are an amazing brand, and I love their hats. They're so comfortable. My daughter is phenomenal and actually going to be in Nashville in September. So I'm wondering when the film festival is. My friend lives there, Rob Mays, and so she's doing a Judy Stakey singing course. So you'll see her then. The film, I would say just watch all of my stuff. I would like people to watch, listen, follow, and buy anything to do with me. So if you Google my name, keep going, deep dive. I feel that there's the support, and then there might be something that you like that you think might work for somebody else, and it's just about sharing it. So my piece of advice is keep making good shit.
Oh, I love that. And so I got to thank everybody for being on. And I always say this: have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. If you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours because the world needs it. I'm Brian Sebastian, and this is Movie Reviews and More, and we will see you next week.